Peanuts have been lying to you your whole life. They sit in every trail mix, every candy bar, every jar with the word nuts printed right on the label. But peanuts aren't nuts at all. They're legumes, cousins of peas and lentils, not almonds or walnuts. That single mistake in the grocery aisle hides one of the strangest life cycles in the entire plant kingdom. Start with what a true nut actually is. Nuts, like walnuts, hazelnuts, and chestnuts, grow on trees, sealed inside a hard shell that never opens on its own. The tree does the work, the shell just falls when it's ready, and that's the end of the story. Peanuts refuse to play by those rules. They grow underground, inside a soft pod, after the plant does something almost no other crop on Earth bothers to do. It buries its own flowers. That process has a name. It's called geocarpy, and it's rare enough that peanuts are basically the textbook example everyone points to. Here's how it actually plays out. A peanut flower blooms above ground like any normal flower, gets pollinated by insects or its own pollen, and then does something no rose or sunflower would ever attempt. The stem behind the flower, called a peg, starts bending downward. It pushes itself into the soil, drags the fertilized ovary underground with it, and only then does the actual peanut start to form and mature, hidden from sunlight, hidden from view, hidden from the plant's own leaves swaying above. Think about what that means for a farmer standing in a field. If you pulled a peanut plant out of the ground too early, you wouldn't find a single peanut. You'd find flowers and stems and nothing else, because the pods haven't been planted yet by the plant itself. Farmers have learned to watch the soil, not the leaves, to know when harvest time has actually arrived, because the leaves above ground tell you almost nothing about what's happening underground. It's a crop that essentially plants itself twice, once by the farmer and once by the flower. And here's the part nobody expects when they first hear it. This underground drama has real consequences far beyond biology class trivia. Peanut allergies get grouped with tree nut allergies on food labels, warning stickers, and restaurant menus, even though the two are almost entirely unrelated at the biological level. A walnut and an almond share a lot more evolutionary history with each other than either one shares with a peanut. That mismatch shows up in real bodies. Some people who are allergic to walnuts can eat peanuts without any reaction whatsoever, and the reverse happens just as often. The immune system, it turns out, is a much better botanist than the average food label. The history behind this plant is just as tangled as its biology. Ancient South American cultures were the first to cultivate peanuts, growing them more than 7,000 years ago, long before anyone in Europe had ever laid eyes on one. For thousands of years, this underground legume stayed a regional secret. Then sailors carried peanuts across oceans, first into Africa, then into Asia, and the plant that once grew quietly in South American soil became a dietary staple thousands of miles from where it was born. A seed that hides from the sun ended up traveling farther than most plants that reach for it. Here's my take on why this sticks with people. We build entire categories, entire warning labels, entire snack aisles around the idea that a peanut belongs with almonds and cashews, when the actual truth was buried the whole time, literally, underground, waiting for anyone curious enough to dig. It's a reminder that the names we slap on things aren't always the truth of things. So the next time a bag says, mixed nuts and there are peanuts rattling around inside, know that the label is lying just a little. Peanuts never grew on a tree. They never had a shell that cracked open in the sun. They never behaved like a nut for a single day of their existence. They spent their whole life underground, buried by their own flower, hiding in plain sight from the very category we insisted on putting them in. Hit follow if that surprised you.